without the hassle of a visa. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for travelers from 10 Asian countries, this dream is about to become a reality in 2025. Canada is rolling out a massive visa exemption policy, and if you're from one of these nations, you're in luck. But why is Canada doing this? Which countries made the cut? And what does this mean for travelers, tourism, and even immigration? Stick around because we're breaking it all down in this video. Before we dive deep, here are the 10 Asian countries that'll enjoy visa-free travel to Canada starting in 2025. Now let's get into the details. Why these countries? What's the criteria? And how will this impact you? Japan. Canada and Japan have long enjoyed strong diplomatic and economic ties. Japan is a key trade partner and its citizens are known for high compliance with immigration laws. In 2025, Japan will join the visa-exempt list, allowing Japanese passport holders to visit Canada for up to 6 months without a visa. Why this policy? Canada recognizes Japan's low immigration risk. Japanese tourists and business travelers have historically adhered to visa rules with very few overstays. Additionally, Japan's advanced economy means travelers are less likely to seek unauthorized work. This move strengthens tourism and business exchanges, benefiting both nations. Impact: expect a surge in Japanese tourists exploring Canada's natural wonders, from the Rockies to Toronto's vibrant city life. Business collaborations will also flourish, as executives can now attend meetings without visa delays. South Korea is another high-trust country with a robust economy and low visa violation rates. Starting in 2025, South Koreans can enter Canada visa-free for short stays. So why this policy? Well, Canada and South Korea share a free trade agreement, known as CKFTA, and this visa waiver further cements economic cooperation between the two countries. South Korean travelers are also big spenders, contributing significantly to Canada's tourism revenue. The impact? More K-pop fans might visit Toronto or Vancouver for concerts, while tech entrepreneurs could explore partnerships in Canada's growing AI and green energy sectors. So, why is Canada doing this? Canada's visa exemption strategy isn't random. It's actually a calculated move to boost tourism, strengthen trade, and streamline travel with trusted nations. By waiving visas for low-risk, high-income countries, Canada reduces bureaucratic hurdles, encouraging more visitors and business exchanges. It's also a diplomatic gesture, fostering goodwill with key allies. Of course, there are potential concerns. Critics argue that visa-free access could lead to misuse, but Canada's stringent border controls and electronic travel authorizations, or ETAs, will mitigate risks. Overstays are rare from these nations, making the policy a pretty safe bet. Singaporeans will soon join the list of visa-exempt travelers to Canada in 2025, marking a significant milestone in bilateral relations between the two nations. So, why this policy? Singapore is known for its strong passport, economic stability, and low immigration risks. The country has one of the highest GDPs per capita in Asia, and its citizens are frequent global travelers with a high rate of compliance with visa regulations. Canada's decision reflects confidence in Singapore's travelers and aligns with efforts to boost tourism and business exchanges. The impact? Singaporean tourists, known for their love of luxury travel and shopping, will likely flock to cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. Additionally, Singapore's thriving fintech and business sectors could see increased collaboration with Canadian companies, as executives can now travel without visa constraints. Now, while Singapore has a low overstay rate, Canada will still monitor entries through its electronic travel authorization or ETA system to ensure compliance with immigration rules. Malaysia is another Asian country set to benefit from Canada's visa exemption policy in 2025. This move comes as Canada seeks to strengthen ties with Southeast Asian nations. So, why this policy? Well, Malaysia has a growing middle class with increasing outbound tourism. Canadian authorities recognize that Malaysian travelers pose minimal risk of overstaying, thanks to the country's stable economy and strong diplomatic relations with Canada. When it comes to impact, Malaysian tourists, who often seek nature-based and urban experiences, may explore Canada's national parks, multicultural cities, and winter sports destinations. The policy could also encourage Malaysian students to consider Canada for higher education, since visa-free travel really simplifies short-term visits for university tours and interviews. Now, why now? Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy aims to deepen engagement with Southeast Asia, and this visa waiver is a strategic step toward fostering people-to-people connections. While Taiwan is not officially recognized as a separate country by Canada due to diplomatic relations with China, It holds a special administrative status that allows its passport holders visa-free access starting in 2025. So why this policy? Taiwanese travelers have a strong track record of compliance with international visa rules. Canada's decision is largely driven by economic and tourism incentives, as Taiwan is a key tech hub with significant business ties to North America. The impact here is pretty clear. Taiwanese tourists and business professionals will find it easier to visit Canada for leisure, conferences, and investment opportunities. Cities like Vancouver, which has a large Taiwanese community, may see an increase in family visits and cultural exchanges. On the diplomatic side, Canada maintains a One China policy, but acknowledges Taiwan's economic importance. The visa exemption is a pragmatic move rather than a political statement. The UAE, home to global cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, will also enjoy visa-free travel to Canada in 2025. Why this policy? Well, the UAE is a high-income nation with a strong passport and low overstay rates. Canadian officials view Emirati travelers as valuable tourists and investors, given their spending power and interest in luxury travel. The impact? Emirati tourists may flock to high-end destinations like Banff's luxury resorts, Toronto's shopping districts, and Vancouver's real estate market. Additionally, UAE-based businesses could explore deeper trade ties with Canada, particularly in energy and technology sectors. But just so you know, Canada will still require Emirati travelers to obtain an ETA, ensuring pre-screening before entry. Israel's inclusion in Canada's visa exemption list really highlights the strong bilateral relationship between the two nations. So, why this policy? Well, Israelis are frequent travelers, and they have a high rate of visa compliance. Canada's decision here also reflects shared economic and technological interests, especially in fields like cybersecurity and innovation. The impact? Israeli startups and tech entrepreneurs may find it much easier to attend conferences and explore partnerships in Canadian tech hubs like Toronto and Waterloo. Plus, tourism could also rise, with Israelis drawn to Canada's diverse landscapes and vibrant Jewish communities in cities like Montreal. Are there any controversies? While the move is largely welcomed, some advocacy groups might raise concerns about political sensitivities. However, Canada's focus remains on travel facilitation, not geopolitical stances. Qatar, another wealthy Gulf nation, is set to join the visa-free list in 2025. So why this policy? Qatar's high GDP per capita and low immigration risks make it an ideal candidate for visa exemptions. Canada is also looking to strengthen ties with Qatar, which is a key player in global energy markets. The impact here is that Qatari tourists and investors may explore Canada's real estate, education, and energy sectors. Cities like Calgary, a hub for oil and gas, could see increased business travel as a result. And, after hosting the FIFA World Cup in 2022, Qatar's growing international profile may further boost outbound tourism, with Canada as a top destination. Saudi Arabia's inclusion marks a pretty significant shift in Canada's travel policies, especially after years of diplomatic tensions. So, why this policy? Despite past disputes, Canada recognizes Saudi Arabia's economic potential and the low risk posed by its travelers. This policy really aligns with efforts to rebuild bilateral relations. The impact? Saudi students, tourists, and business travelers will all benefit from easier access to Canada. Luxury tourism and educational exchanges, especially in STEM fields, are expected to grow. And as for the diplomatic thaw, this move signals a pragmatic approach to mending ties, while still prioritizing economic benefits. Kuwait rounds out the list, reflecting Canada's engagement with Gulf economies. So why this policy? Well, Kuwaiti travelers are considered low risk and high spending, making them just ideal for visa-free access. The impact? Kuwaiti families might visit Canada for summer vacations, while investors could explore opportunities in Canadian real estate and energy. If you're from one of these 10 Asian countries, 2025 is your year to explore Canada like never before. No visa headaches, just pure, unfiltered adventure. But before you go, here's what you need to do next. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. More updates like this are coming, and you definitely don't want to miss them. Share this video. Got friends or family in these countries? Tag them and start planning your Canadian getaway. Comment below. Which Canadian destination are you most excited to visit? Banff? Vancouver? Let's chat! And don't forget to check the description. We've linked official Canadian immigration resources so you can verify these updates yourself. Canada is opening its doors wider than ever. Will you step through? Don't just watch, take action. Bookmark this video, share it with your travel buddies, and get ready for an unforgettable journey. And remember, the world is changing fast. Stay informed, stay adventurous, and we'll see you in the next video.